again, my name is Andrew Young. Welcome today. The event is Community Research Network's presentation to you all. But we are trying to appeal to you all to this is what's going on. This is the progress of several communities, including the Montagnard community. These are, for want of a better word, the opportunities, particularly for institutions and organizations that are represented here. So the really big part is not so much what goes on here today, but what happens, and not in the hallways, because I know a lot of the real serious things happen in the hallways, but it's what happens 2 weeks from now. That is what matters to us. By building out networks and relationships and ones that we can trust, these are critical, of course, to the communities we work with, but among institutions as well, to start working together to be able to address some of these issues. Let's say more informally, we are trying to break silos, which means, getting out of your comfort zone. I'm preaching to the crowd. See, I see lots. I don't see anybody scowling. So with that, I'm very pleased to introduce Esther Leerkes, and to please come forward and to give a welcoming from our host institution. Oh, sorry. If Car Mattacola could please come forward. Sorry,
It's okay.
Welcome to UNCG. Many of you, I've seen faces before last year, so I think some of you are new. I'm the Dean of the School of Health and Human Sciences, and the next person who's actually going to do the introduction has a lot more substantive work, Esther Leerkes, who's our Associate Dean for Research, and she's amazing. So welcome. So I think I have 15 minutes or 20 minutes. I'll make it short and sweet, but welcome to UNCG. Welcome to our great campus. And I'm really appreciative and always find this interaction and what I learn both here in the short time that I get to participate, but also from the work of our faculty, really inspiring. And so when I think of community engaged work, it's a foci and a part of UNCG that's different than other institutions. I was at another institution for 20-something years, so this is technically last week, the 1st of June, is my 5th year at UNCG, and it's flown. But that said, we do community engagement, and we focus on it, and we actually define it, and we make it a part of what our faculty do. And so sometimes that's service, sometimes that's working with communities to provide services, and what we in academia call service, meaning that it might not be tied to a class, it might be tied to a class, it might not be tied to research or scholarship, but often it is. And I think that's the part that when we think of the relationships that we have with our community, we have academicians, we have students, we have the ability to create policy, we have the ability to create new knowledge. And I always fall back on that. And I like your quote, love your quote, part of being a scholar, part of doing research is thinking, questioning ideas, challenging ideas, and developing new knowledge for all of our disciplines and the things that we do. And that will always ring true on me. I remember my faculty advisor when I was doing my PhD saying, not a lot of people earn their PhD, less continue to do the work to create new knowledge and be scholars. And so I want to highlight, my notes just went away. One of the things that I think is really special about the relationships of Dr. Morrison and many of the faculty that are in this room representing UNCG and really I'm going to go HHS because I think it's primarily HHS, and I'm going to give you that sort of I'm going to promote our peeps, but I just want to read a couple things. And I find often when I'm chatting with faculty and they say I do community engaged something, I always come back and say, hey, what are you doing? What's the action? Like, what's happened with this relationship that you've developed? And sometimes it's providing services, sometimes it's examining where or there's a loss of services or how we can better do that. But I want to just give you a quick idea because I hold, I do this, so I hope that's okay. I hold Dr. Morrison up on this pedestal when I talk to our faculty because she's cool for one. She has some cool eyeglasses. I like the snappy, happy hour, 5 o'clock is when the real discussions are going to happen. But more importantly, she talks the talk and she walks the walk. And what I mean by that is here's some topics of her scholarship. Self-care of diabetes and diabetes distress in non-Hispanic Black adults. What do we know? Youth capacity building and leadership through CBPR and conflict transformation with the Montagnard refugee origin community. That's y'all. So not only is she doing this day-to-day stuff, she is sharing the knowledge and creating new knowledge and providing information for others in her discipline and outside of UNCG to learn from. Using community-based participatory research to characterize health and lifestyle behaviors of Montagnards, a refugee origin Asian American. The wheel of my work, community health worker perspectives and experiences with facilitating refugee access to primary care services. All of those fit that top line, right? It is the contemplation and it's the work of engaging, and then it's the work of sharing that scholarship and research. And so I'm really proud of the work that our faculty do. And thanks for just letting me give you that quick introduction, because I think it's good sometimes to see what the fruit of all of this work is, especially on the academic side, because that to me is really important. So thanks and have a wonderful day.
Good morning. It's so wonderful to be here with all of you on this absolutely gorgeous day. Whoever arranged the weather really did a great job. I got very specific instructions about what I was supposed to do from Dr. Morrison, who I believe many of you fondly call Dr. M. She told me I should tell you what I want you to know, tell you what we have to offer you, and tell you what I want you to do. Well, I've learned a couple of things about myself, and one is that with age, I need these glasses to actually see what I was supposed to tell you about. And the other is that the older I get, the worse I am at following directions. But I have tremendous respect for Dr. M, so I'm going to start by doing what she asked me to do, and then I'm going to do what I want to do, which is talk about you all and less about UNCG. So what do I want you to know about UNCG? I think we are a very special institution. In fact, we are one of only 18 institutions of higher education in the United States that have the trifecta, meaning we're a minority-serving institution. More than 50% of our student body are from underrepresented groups. And we also hold Carnegie designations for high research activity and excellence in community engagement. So we really are among a select group of universities that hold these three strengths. And our mission is really central to those areas. We're also an amazing research institution. The university as a whole brought in $68 million in external contracts and grants last year. And our school, the School of Health and Human Sciences, which is rather small with only 10 departments compared to some of the other units, brought in 10 million of that amount of money. And a great deal of the work is really focused on understanding what promotes the health and well-being of our communities. So we really share a common goal and mission with all of you. And one of the things that's so special about this research and community engagement that we do well on campus is that we involve students at all levels. So our own undergraduates and graduate students are working along with our faculty, doing critical work focused on preventing Alzheimer's disease, preventing obesity, preventing cardiovascular disease, promoting mental health, reducing structural racism, all things that we all care about deeply, and our students are working alongside. So are high school students. This summer, we have lots of high school students working alongside our faculty doing this critically important work. So those are some things that I think are special about UNCG. So what do we have to offer you as our community members? We do have faculty expertise in a broad variety of areas. So certainly the sciences and also the arts. We have our Institute for Community Engagement and Economic Development, which really works hard to partner and support partnerships between our faculty, staff, and students in our communities. We have a variety of research centers on campus that offer programming that I think is very relevant to the communities we serve. Those include the Center for New North Carolinians, who I believe are represented here today, the Center for Youth, Family, and Community Partnerships, the Center for Housing Studies, and in HHS, we're very proud to be the home of the Center for Women's Health and Wellness. And this is just naming a few. We also have a lot of internal funding opportunities to support undergraduate research and faculty research. And a number of these sources of funds are dedicated to engaging in community engaged research. So these are opportunities to support our faculty and students and their community partners in doing the work that is going to shift the needle in the way they want in this community. I'm really excited to tell you that in the School of HHS, we're going to be offering a training series in the coming year that's going to be focused on best practices in community engaged research. And one of the sessions is going to be focused on grant writing. And we are inviting all community partners to attend alongside the faculty that they are working with. So that is a very exciting series that Dr. Morrison has been critically involved in bringing to us. And so that's going to be coming in the next academic year. And then we also have amazing resources that we want you to make use of. We have space. So in the School of Health and Human Sciences, we have a really nice portion of space in one of the newest and nicest buildings on campus. And a large part of that space is dedicated to community engaged activities and research. So it's a wonderful meeting space that you can make use of. We have our library, we have our museum, we have many speakers and events that we bring to campus. We want you on this campus. We are a public institution and we are here to serve our community. We don't want to make you feel unwelcome. We want you to be welcomed. We want you here and we want you using these many resources. So what do I want from you? I want you to come to UNCG. And I also want you to send your students, your youth, to us with pride and confidence that they are going to get a top-notch education here. I want your professionals coming here for continuing education and that you can feel pride and confidence and knowledge that it's going to be a good investment. So that is me trying to do what Dr. M asked me to do. Now I'm going to switch gears and do the part I want to do. And so I'm going to answer the same three questions. So what do I want you to know? I want you to know that we see you. I want you to know that I am incredibly impressed by the work that you all have done. It is amazing to me that you have what has become a model research network. It truly is a model that we tell other people about and we tell them this is how to do it. You have now a nonprofit organization that is doing critical work in the community. You really are the example of how to initiate and sustain a major effort that is transforming the lives of people in this community. You are an exemplar. What do we have to offer you? Well, I want to flip that and say, what do you have to offer us? A ton. We can learn so much from you, and we are learning so much from you. What do I really want you to do? Don't give up on us. Universities are a nightmare to work with, and we know that. There's a lot of bureaucracy. We are slow. There are more rules and policies, and it seems like we just make them up to make life hard sometimes. I promise we don't. I know we're not easy to partner with. We're trying to do better. We are doing better in a lot of ways. We want to hear what we're not doing well, and we want to try to do it better. So please, my message, what I really want from you is don't give up on us. Let's keep working together, and I know we can really move the needle in this community. So I am here today to really listen and learn from you. And with that, I'm going to, I think, turn it over.
What I want to say is thank you so much for, I don't think she's in the room. She's probably on the other side of the wall. To Lisa Walker, who has been extremely generous in these kinds of community outreach efforts. And Liana Adrong, the executive director of Montagnard Association, could not be here today, but she also is grateful to all the things that UNCG has done in hosting events like this. So Lisa Walker, thank you so much. Melina Kasor, her name is not on the acknowledgement thing. She is the head of the Montagnard Association's Community Advisory Council. She has done exemplary work. I've already done a shout out to Jack Chin Restaurant. Finally, to the School of Education, of course. To Jenny Lee, who is a former UNCG student in
Health and
public health.
Public health.
In public health. She's been a great sponsor to this event. And then finally to Jeremy Bumbry, who is doing our video work today. And finally, I wish to say thank you, Steve Long, our leader at Montagnard Association, for bringing out some of the elders. They are here before me, and we are very appreciative of them coming today.
Thank you.
So thank you very much. I'm turning things back over to Dr. Morrison.